Welcome back. I think we are on again. And we have another wonderful student that will play for me. And do you want to introduce yourself? And do you want to say what you will be playing for us today?
Hello, so I'm Tähe-Lee. I'm from Estonia, I'm 16, and I will play for you Ravel from Miroirs, three pieces, Sad Birds, A Boat on the Ocean, and Alborada del Gracioso.
Wonderful. And would you like to play them all at the same time or one at a...
Yes, I think so.
Yes. So I look forward to hear these three wonderful pieces, and I will put on my headset first because then I hear you even better.
Okay.
That's another big piece that also I've never played. So I've looked at and listened to many times. Have you played it a long time?
2.5 months almost.
Yeah. Well, that's, yeah, let's start from the beginning. Can you just play for me these words, the first line? Are you using? It's difficult for me to judge from here. You're using the left pedal.
I'm using pedal.
The left pedal, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So something about the just the second bar. If it can be. It can also be very difficult, different, you know, in the room where you play, because this is the difficulty with the internet, and it's difficult to judge such acoustic piece like pieces by Ravel from over the internet. But for me, it sounds a little bit. It could be a little bit more mysterious. This song in the second bar. That it's not too clear, you know, and a little bit more tempo. A little, I think also that's, yeah. He writes this strange rhythm. So it's something surprising element. So don't make it too symmetric, if you see what I mean. Yeah, try it. Yeah. Yeah, and that note, that's the really sad note. Yeah, the first one, which is very special. So I think it's a little bit more core. I know it's pianissimo, but it's pianissimo and then the diminuendo. So give a little bit more sound, right? Yeah, can that be even more special? The harmonic change. So when we have the B natural in the bass, there is something, and here the D then can be also a little bit less because it's 3-piece. Just do it again from where you did. Very good. So when you make this crescendo, these are all just small things, but it might help also the sound a little bit when you get to make this crescendo. Maybe this last one of the B's in the bass more, even if I know it's the right hand which has the marcato, but then you make it more full. Then you have both of these little fingers in both hands. They meet in this crescendo. Try. Yes, and so the feeling here when you get back here, of course it has this little accent, but that this is in a way further away. You know that this is something very mysterious, and then this relates to the beginning as well. So I think also the beginning, in fact, could be a little bit more mysterious. Where are we? What is happening? You know? But let's just continue. Can you do it the last time with this crescendo, and then make this word again from further away? Yeah, just there are so small things in this piece, but for me it has such a sadness and such a expression. This D and E flat. Maybe you can be a bit more conscious of that. I don't mean to play it louder, but that it's a little bit more consistent in the. It's easy that we focus on the upper line, but I think this bottom line is as important. Just listen to that when you play now the same. This going through all the time. Yes, wonderful. I just wanted to say about this. I think it's important for it to have this consistency and this again and again. We have to try to avoid as much movement, in fact, as possible in the hand for such places, because it can easily become random, you know, and then you get a bump, and then the next time you get a little bit. So try to be very disciplined with just a finger, and when you then change hand or whatever you do, but that it's really the same kind of movement each time, just a finger movement, and that creates this kind of hypnotic quality. The same again and again, and then other things around it change, but this sort of element which becomes hypnotic, which is so typical for Ravel, I think. And then when you get, we don't need to do that again though. When you get to where you were now, I just wonder if the crescendo in the left hand needs to be so much. So you, how is it? And then, because this piam piam, that is a kind of shock. I mean, when I look at the score, it's pianissimo with the crescendo, but I don't think this crescendo really goes to forte. It can be really within pianissimo. Wham, wham. You know, this kind of, what was that? It's a kind of exotic, dangerous bird or something that is disturbing. So let this right hand be the shock, and this is kind of under. So we have two layers. It's also typically with these kind of pictures of these pieces that it doesn't meet. It's not romantic where this crescendo leads to this forte. I think it's a kind of orchestration. So let the pianissimo be there just with a little crescendo, and then the right hand disrupts. Can you play maybe from the top of the page? It's very good. I just wonder if there's for this music too much hand movement for this. So it's a bit how to explain. How is it in fact? But you really, it's really happening out here. These are all birds that are. So for me, they are now becoming a little bit too big animals, if you see what I mean. And you play it extremely well, but a little bit too much with the arm and with weight. So the same sharpness, or actually more sharp, because you play really out here. Try once. Maybe it's also the balance between the hands, that the left hand is not much more than the right, which it easily becomes, of course, because there are bigger chords. But excuse me, my piano, which has broken a couple of strings there. So the right hand really competes with the left. So maybe a little bit less the left now. And try also to see whether possibly the pedals are a little bit too long or something, you know, more sparkle between. Yeah, that's for me more interesting sounds. It's less, you know. We have to avoid that it becomes a kind of Brahms sound, even if it has these chords. Yeah, okay, go on. Be sure to give enough bass there, because this is so amazing, that this fifth in the bass, and then because you have them, this really closes in after, and to make this contrast, just above before maybe. I think that you're preparing too much the moment. So because you now do a ritardando into this place, but you have this element again, which is just going body, and this is like, you know, a kind of church bell or something in nature, which is just happening, and there's nothing you can do about it. So try to make the music around it, but this just stays in tempo. Try to make it without the ritardando once more from this place. So just this cadenza, I would try not to make a crescendo first. To have this, like it just really disappears into the far, and then you can do a little bit tempo like you do when you come to the top. But I wouldn't do a lot of dynamic here. It's 3 pianos, just a landscape, and then stay also in the beginning, and then really do the kind of hairpin that he writes. Because there's only one place where he writes really this kind of hairpin. Try once this. I'm not sure if I make myself clear, but this kind of landscape. When you go up on the piano, it's so easy that we get the feeling that it's stronger, even if that's not your intention. So almost a little bit more this fifth here, and then stay. So. Yeah, but that one is too little. So when you get to the what reminds one of the BB, that is the point where you should go, right? Yes. From further away now, just softer and softer, so the last one is. Yeah, for the last one, I would not really use a hand movement. I would just it's enough if you just use the finger, you know, to really have control. Okay, good. Yeah, play a little bit of the ocean. Just at the beginning, if there should be a little bit more. This one. That creates the most friction in the harmony. Try. Very good. Maybe it's a little bit too much now that it becomes an accent, but just speak it. And then when you have this hairpin, I think you're forgetting a little bit after you get to the top. You get to, and then this next one disappears too early, I think. So I almost don't hear the continuation of the melody. Can you play that? Yeah, this one. I think you have to play it a little bit more because the E is higher, and then otherwise it's difficult to do diminuendo for the last one. Okay. Yeah, can you make more special when the harmony changes? I think that is the surprising, and maybe a little bit more all the notes, also the bass. Try. I think the second figure is a little bit too thick. A little. Try to make this more hushed. Then you can make a contrast. Because it's the same. That's the new. Now it's maybe too much an echo. Make it clear, but just soft. It's the same. There's something that could be more sparkling there each time. I think. I mean, he writes also their accent on this note. So think of it as one dynamic higher a little bit. Yeah. That's a new color. Yeah. I was thinking of the fact that when you do very well, I think one thing that you could be aware of is that you have always 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the long note, which is 2 beats instead of 1, needs a little bit more sound than the first one. You play them quite similar, so maybe just a little bit. So when you have the chords also. Right, give the second one. And then when you get to the fortissimo, to the climax, don't fall together immediately. You should keep it going. I don't know what the notes are about. Keep the glow there, and only little by little is the diminuendo. But there's such an amazing ecstasy in those chords. So keep it glowing. Try once the whole. Yeah, it's better, but still it's a little bit. I have a feeling that you are. When you get to the top, you're making very soft movements with your hands. So you're immediately going up, and then you with the wrists instead of keep this still, and then little by little you can be softer. Yeah, just somewhere in the middle there. Better. Be aware that there's after the and then this A flat. That's where you get too soft very often. And listen to the octaves. Octave is such a wonderful. There are two notes that are really, really together in unison, so they form this glowing entity, and with it's amazing. Last time. A couple of things there. Try to be as close as possible to the keys, the moment, and not too much this side movement. When you get this, it becomes more random. So really, I don't know if you can see me, but and then always go towards the thumb on the top. And when you go down, I'm missing the left hand. You play very well. Yeah, and I don't know how you play only 4 notes the right hand, and then yeah, but when the turn, you know, the ocean, how it turns. I'm missing that a little bit here. Yeah. That's much better, much better. Now we hear these waves coming down gradually, not collapsing. Okay, go on. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I would just say, I think we should go on to Alborada, because otherwise we don't have time. And many of the same things here coming back. But just since this is such a aquarium music, you know, it's such a swimming. I would always practice such a piece, you know, with metronome, you know, quite regularly, because it's easy that it loses the rhythmic corners, and it's not that one needs to play it exactly like the metronome. Of course, we are human beings, but and it has to be waves. But I notice sometimes I wonder why you are suddenly a little bit faster that bar, or you know. So always coming back to the metronome is it's in fact very often a very good teacher, the metronome, even if it's quite a stubborn teacher. So I would practice. Really check what you're doing with the rhythm, because sometimes you are manipulating by a little bit by habits, and that's normal when we play again and again a piece. So and yeah, let's get to the dance, I think. it's very good. I am lacking some sparkle at the end of the fingertips, you know. Imagine that you have something here which is, there is a kind of explosion at the tip here. You have very good fingers, but in this, I'm missing this character. This tip, this kind of Spanish explosion inside, and that's more important than the tempo, or you know, that creates such an excitement, and also a rhythm. Try, find it. Yeah, very good. Especially the first bars, they had more something happening out here. Then how is it? You play this one, and then it's a little bit too kind the rest of the bar. Yeah, very good. Because at the end of the bar, it's like it's collapsing, but the whole head of the beginning of the bar. And make sure, on the other hand, that the next bar you have this first one. Yeah. And to be instead of, you know, it's very easy to make it one, but it's so wonderful if you can make the like something very elegant on the top. And to do that, you need actually to begin with more sound, this passage. And actually 2 bars before that, he writes subito mezzo forte. Play a little more here. Good, good. I was just thinking, when you have all this stuff, like castañetas, you know, very, very close to the key, not immediately when it's too much hand, it lacks precision, and it lacks rhythm. So try. Why not have a little pedal on the Good. I think you misunderstood me though before. I meant a little pedal on this one, just a small pedal on the new harmony, right? How do you play this? In fact, the low note, is it just you have a special fingering or something?
3.
Okay.
3.
Yeah. I know some people play it with the fist. possibility is also the thumb, but I never played it. So immediately when the scale starts after it, can it be really in the same kind of fortissimo growl? You know, I don't know if it makes sense, but the beginning of the scale, that we really hear this. So it's always the beginning of the bar when you play then very, very clear. And then when you have the long chord, then you can play very, very soft in the left hand. So just for yourself, I think when you have this one, that it's always a moment of pedal and of harmony, because the rest is just these repeated notes. So just take time for this moment where you have this harmony. Yeah. Also, the notes around the repeated notes, what it is, play them a little bit more. Then you can relax more in the repeated notes. Yeah, that's a good balance, because and then it's actually, I'm sure, easier for you to play these notes, because you don't need to push when you have more support from the harmonies. And if you miss one or two, it doesn't matter, because we hear the harmonies, you know. Okay, go on. Yeah, that needs to be real big. It's really D major. There's something. What is it? That's too high. There's, make yourself longer and let the energy come from your body in this case, and not so much down, but yeah, that's much more, you know, the kind of character, and you get more sound from the instrument. Okay, play a little bit more. I think this is too peaceful. You know, it's the Spanish character. You know, it has to be something so glowing. And then on the other hand, a completely different sound here, which is very, very veiled and mysterious. But the song itself needs to go. Yeah, and this repeated note. I don't know how you play it. If you change, I would just stay with one. This is the kind of voice which is cracking. You know. end of this, I think, still has to be more. And now it's really from far. Try to play as soft as you can there. Really with a kind of in this register on the piano, very often we have to play much more intense than we think, because it otherwise doesn't sing very well. Up here, immediately it has a kind of carrying projection, but here it's a kind of fortissimo inside, you know. Not naughty, but real intensity. The first ones really forte, really like stabbing in the heart. No. The first chord also, not only the F sharp. Yeah? What I wanted to mostly, I felt this middle section was too peaceful. You know, it needs something extremely strong from expression, and then this soft, like from a different room. So you have two layers: this main voice and the other ones, which is just color, which is a kind of memory of rhythm. Yeah, we could. It's a piece one could just go on with for hours and hours, but it's fantastic. And you play it also really well. I'm afraid we don't have much time. Do you want to just play the end for me somewhere? No, where is it? The last 2 pages or something? So then bum bum ba ba bum ba 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 bum ba 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 ba. I think really you can start less there, so you can do a new crescendo. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, we'll play from there, and then after 2 bars you can come down. There's something. Yum up. Try to play with stretched fingers, then up instead of down. Yeah. Yeah. And in this case, I would even leave the keys. You know, not only. Right. Yeah, that's more brilliant. Yeah. Thanks very much. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.